Welcome back to FF Media. I'm here with Mr. Fallout, aka HHTrader, and it has been a fallout in the crypto market this past week. What you been seeing over there in the stock market? Any good trades? The stock
Well,
market's up.
I saw, for this week, the biggest thing that I saw was Amazon get punched in the mouth. They got punched hard for was it Washington Post, firing all those people and laying off all those people. And pretty much Bezos is trying to reformat everything. But there is a lot of people out of jobs, and Amazon took a hit. So I was just looking for things that was kind of moving around that topic. And not only that, so this January and then February have been the biggest ETF moves that I've seen in a long time. Like, it's like money just like as Bitcoin dropped every dollar, ETFs was going up $10. it was crazy. But ETFs are eating, man. And I think one of the things coming into last year, December, what I was looking at was one, the weather patterns. They had reports of things getting a lot colder than they thought it was, and people were freezing to death and things like that. And so I was like, okay. And then I noticed another pattern where gold and silver were going through the roof. So tangible things were going through the roof. And I'm like, wait a minute. So things people can touch are getting bought into. Things people like their survival is being taken into consideration, the cold weather and the snow and all this. I was like, I don't know if crypto is going to last this. And so I moved some funds from there into ETFs that were focused on utilities, that were focused on healthcare, that were focused on utilities, healthcare, oil and gas, natural gas, that type of thing, mining, anything that was connected to silver, gold, and all that. Bruh, January got blessed. And I didn't even expect the Bitcoin to fall like that. Like, I was already out before it even dropped. I was like, oh boy, wow. I guess I just missed that haircut.
Yeah, man. You talked about the Amazon layoffs. It's the robots are here. They're replacing jobs locally. The Pepsi factory down the road from me is already laying people off for robots, like a ton of people. So it's a little sketchy.
That makes me think about something. So over the past couple, not even just super recent, but even the last year, 2 years, 3 years, we've seen more people that have left the mainstream news outlets like CNN and all of that. And they started their own podcasts. They've started their own gaming channels. They've started their, I think even some singers have their own gaming channels on Twitch and stuff. They're singing game and all that stuff. And what I was looking at, like, let's say for these Washington Post people, the people that do sports commentating and things like that, I'm like, bro, if you would have just did like a 50-50 where you worked on your own platform as well as work for them, bro, they'll be set. But now they're in a situation where they're getting hit in the mouth because, they had a steady income. They had a nice little package set up for them. They can pay their bills, and they were like, man, this is it. But dependence on a specific company, the company is not there. It's there as long as you can provide it value. Yeah. And so as soon as that gets cut, as soon as AI comes out and it can write 30 different stories in 3 seconds, it's like, bro, you have to have your feet in the door of another opportunity, because you're pretty much playing the fence. You're like, man, you can get cut to pieces. And this isn't Bezos, I don't think this was a hateful move. This was like, hey, I see where my business can do better. And because it's his business, your business is being kind of like under the cover, and he's flipping the cover off, and now you're getting hit with rain and snow and hail and all that. So I'm like, man, dependence is a curse, man. I promise it is.
Yeah. You no longer can depend on the 40-hour work week job and it being safe like they used to be. Is definitely definitely a big turn in the way things are going in all industries.
Yeah.
And it's leading to crazy moves in the stock market, crazy moves in crypto. We saw Bitcoin crash down to 65,000, somewhere around there, I think was the final low. But it's pretty clear it's BlackRock, Grayscale, and Vanguard doing their shenanigans. They've been buying it the past few years like crazy, and then now they're getting all the hedge funds in. So they got all the hedge funds in and had it pushed up high, and now they've pulled the rug. Of course, this is normal Wall Street stuff we're going to see, but I would almost argue a case that we may see Bitcoin's price down to a more normalized stock level soon, like $1,000 Bitcoin, $2,000 Bitcoin, somewhere like Google stock or a big ETF price. But I don't know if the days of $100,000 Bitcoin are going to continue on or not. Now, I am still bullish on the rest of the crypto market and blockchain technology, especially with AI being involved. I've always been expecting a big turn from Bitcoin and more money to flow into other coins, like Solana and everything else. The problem is the whole crypto market is tethered to Bitcoin. When Bitcoin makes a big move down or up, the whole entire crypto market moves in that direction. So we need to see that detachment from Bitcoin for sure, which may happen.
And that's one thing that we had talked about. I don't know, probably a couple of years ago, was Bitcoin's detachment from the stock market, from the SPY and all of that. And now Bitcoin, the crypto, has to detach from it. So it's like the thing that everybody was believing in. You could payment systems everywhere, paying Walmart, all this. What's gonna be the next thing, or what's going to be the next crypto that feels? Because whenever you have an empty space, let's say if you're killing bacteria, you kill 100% of the bacteria. What's going to take the lead? What's going to be that main thing that comes back and grows like it, and takes? And will any other crypto be able to do what Bitcoin has done, reach $120,000? Will any crypto be able to do that?
I mean, that's always a possibility. There was a couple that actually gotten higher than Bitcoin, but they didn't maintain the that type of high price for very long. I don't know. Like I was saying, I think there's no other investments or assets at all that are as expensive as Bitcoin. One Bitcoin, even at $60,000 is still a crazy price. When gold at all-time highs this week is at 4,585 an ounce. Like one Bitcoin for $60,000 or $100,000 versus an ounce of gold for $5,000. I'm going to take gold all day. Or even compared to silver's high of 79 an ounce. Like you said, you're getting something physical, but not only that, you're just getting a better deal.
Yeah. Well, I wonder if this comes back to the point where, we talk about trust, and a lot of smart contracts and things like that, and all of the blockchains basically are built on trust because they're not really backed by any assets. So, a lot of people say, doesn't matter what race you are, doesn't matter what color you are, green is green, the money is the money. And so I'm wondering if people overvalued trust in the cryptocurrency. Overvalued, because when you think about the asset that it operates on.
Absolutely. Especially with Bitcoin, because nobody knows who made it. And now with the Epstein files releasing and stuff, there's ties to there's ties to Epstein to Bitcoin. So when you don't know who makes something, and there's a mysterious story behind this crazy guy from Japan, Satoshi, who just never wanted any recognition, never wanted anything. He just put this magical thing out there that somehow reached $100,000 per coin. Why would you trust that at all? Now with other cryptos is different because you can see the teams and foundations and people who created the chains. There's actual white papers. It's not a random white paper that appeared out of nowhere. So yeah, that was the biggest mistake on everybody in the crypto world's part, is putting too much trust into something that you absolutely shouldn't have trusted.
Yeah. and that's one thing. Even in my portfolios, I look for credit history. I look for at least 10 years of trading. I don't really mess with anything that's like super young because that feels inappropriate. But
speaking of Epstein,
I feel like with Bitcoin, because it has such a long history, older investors that have seen things move like it before and seen those new highs break and seen the stock market in the spot, they were like, man, this thing could be, because this type of money move is old money. This ain't new money moving this. That from what, 15K all the way up to 100? Nah, that's old money. That's something that is decrepit, sitting in a dark corner pressing the buy button.
Exactly.
So with all of those start to sell, and even they were talking about the account liquidations. The old money isn't getting liquidated. It's the new money getting liquidated because their account isn't big enough. They can't take that risk. So, I see all this sell off and I'm like, yeah, this is bad. But what is going to be really bad, like you said, if it comes back to normal levels, that means old money's selling heavy. They're like, nah, we're good. We don't trust anybody anymore. Zero trust. Because that's how it is in cybersecurity. We have zero trust mechanisms. It's, nah. So if the old money starts selling, it's going to be real nasty for anybody trying to hold.
Yep. I believe Michael Saylor still holds the biggest position. So I think at Bitcoin at 30,000 ruins Michael Saylor, and he has to get out at a major loss. So if he gets out, the biggest holder, and I think that's truly what is going on. It's just normal Wall Street nonsense. Vanguard and all them are trying. Hit the subscribe button and turn notifications on so you're ready for a new episode every Sunday. And I think that's truly what is going on. It's just normal Wall Street nonsense. Vanguard and all them are trying to get Michael Saylor out so they can have full control over Bitcoin. Yeah. If they get Michael Saylor and a few other old money out that's not them, then that's all they need. But again, then we might see that normalized price on Bitcoin. However, there's a lot going on in the crypto world. Fidelity has launched its first stablecoin, the Fidelity digital dollar. So another big company dropping their own coin. Now, again, it's a stable coin. We're seeing, and this is another thing why Bitcoin is losing its appeal, is because why do you want a coin? What do you need Bitcoin for if you can make your own coin? That's what all these businesses are figuring out. Yeah. Fidelity's been in the stock market forever, but not only can you make your own coin, you can make it a stable coin where it's backed off the dollar. And it has a lot of utility and doesn't fluctuate in price. Like, true. But for staking and dividends and all that stuff, it's the perfect setup with stable coins. So
you know what?
Go ahead.
Another thing that I was thinking about was during this whole Bitcoin drop and all of this, it wasn't the only thing dropping. A lot of the big tech companies that have been absolutely running up, especially last year, NVIDIA was ungodly. It's just you buy, it goes up. You buy, it goes up. During this time, these tech companies are also falling. So I'm thinking that it's accumulated fear, and people taking money out of the AI markets, being like, oh well, where can I put this money? Buying Bitcoin as it's dropping. And I think there was just an accumulated of where we put our money, and the majority of people, we see where it went: gold and silver. Everything else dropping, people trying to figure out what to buy is continuing to drop, but gold and silver just on the rise.
Yeah.
So we're back to get your nickels, guys, because nickel and gold and all these things are coming up, and the tangibles are coming back into play. And it's just a market cycle. We've seen this before. people are like, oh, well, we don't trust anybody. There's no good mechanisms. Let's just go into something that's tangible. And then they do that for a while, and then everybody's holding gold and it's too expensive. And they're like, man, we want to move some money somewhere else. Or something else presents better ROI, better returns per a crypto comes out. Oh yeah, we can give you 116% back every year. People back into crypto. So it's just a cycle.
Yeah, that's all it is for sure. Like I said, I think this bear market in cryptos, it was already a bear market for a long time, besides the one run Bitcoin had. But I'm still bullish overall. Just never been that bullish on Bitcoin myself. I think there's way more better options out there in the crypto world, and especially for the price.
I think another thing is a lot of people that were invested in crypto, federal people and things like that, people that have gone through these layoffs, they're having to pull their funds.
Yep, that's another thing. Yeah. As people are losing jobs, they're going to have to pull. They're going to sell that crypto for food and cigarettes and beer. I mean, that's yep. But CPI report did show 2.7%, which is really low compared to what inflation has been. That is also going to shake things up. We've seen the US dollar strengthen as Bitcoin and the crypto market has went down. That money going back into the US dollar. So I think we're expected to hear another rate cut announcement soon. And again, with those rates continuing to push down, it's just more bullish case for stock market and gold, silver, and even crypto. But I'm like you, where are we going to hit the high at on gold before it starts turning around for a while? Because gold and silver have been so hot.
Yeah. And that's just the supply and demand. When it gets to a point where people are like, man, this, I've been holding this for a while, I need to take a little bit of profit. Because some of these things, I mean, some of them pay dividends and things so you don't have to sell, but some of these stocks and whatever, they actually have to take profit to make money. And so when they do that, it can go into a lower level where people are like, oh, this thing's coming down, but it's not really coming down. They're just taking profit, but the market overreacts. So then it goes down even further. So,
there's always overreaction. And here's another big thing before we end the show. U.S. federal regulators approved legal cryptocurrency transaction and custody for banks. So, in the midst of this crash, banks can now comfortably use crypto. Yeah. They like to do this. That's what I'm saying. The crypto is Bitcoin and everything is acting just like the stocks and the stock market act. We see crashes while in the background there's some type of major regulatory change that helps that industry. And it's like, why is it crashing right now? Well, it's crashing right now because of everything we said. But that cycle, the rotation back into crypto will happen.
I traded GXAI. It was connected to Amazon. That was the only reason I traded it, because Amazon had been like, even though Amazon was falling, it's still a big name and big company. And so GXAI, Amazon, AWS committed to fund their initial build out, their initial development. And so I was like, oh, that's news I need to trade. So I traded that. And that was pretty much the only thing that I've traded this month. Got me sitting nice and green on the month. And just waiting for the next thing to come up. If Amazon wants to recover, well, I'll just continue to look at GXAI and see what it wants to do.
So one trade so far for the month.
Two trades. Yeah, but it's on the same ticker.
Yeah, I like your sniperness.
I just trade catalyst, man. Everybody's like, oh, you need to do this and that. I'm like, bro, I just read the news, bro. That's all. No complications.
Yeah, it don't need to be complicated at all. Well, this has been it for this week's episode of Wall Street and Web3. You can find HHTrader everywhere. YouTube live streaming on his channel, his trades, and other content. Follow me everywhere. Framework Fortune. Till next time. Peace.